Of course. Of course, the mic has been off this entire time. So all of that not really witty banter has been pointless. Well, the mic is on now. Oh well. You live and you learn. Well, that is extremely embarrassing. Oh, my hands still smell like goat. Girder. Our starter Luigi should take care of Girder, no problem. It's worth it. It's worth it to go through that every single time. How many jaw fossils can this game give me? I swear, I have gotten that fossil every time. Let's see, it doesn't hurt to explore a little bit. Sir, what are you doing with a Caterpie this far in the forest? A single Caterpie. Oh, cool, a Dream Ball. Those things don't exist in the normal game, so that's cool. Just a fun bonus item. Here we go, we made it through. This is always such an interesting concept that there's just a place where all of these Pokemon just go. Because they have nowhere else to. Oh, come on. Yeah, we caught you earlier when you were the legendary Pokemon Yveltal. Now we should be able to fly back to Snowbell and take on Wulfric. What I really want is to see what one of the trash cans has for us. Ditto Queen. Is there some interesting options here? It seems fitting. Poison types hanging out in the trash. Hey, Celebi. It's cool, guys. Celebi and I go way back. There's no one to pass the baton to, Celebi. It's actually very fitting that Celebi is just hanging out in the Pokemon Village. You got lots of Great Balls. Safari Ball, that's a cool option. That was the wrong key. Oh well, there are plenty more Celebes in the area, I'm sure. Celebi's really common. Not you. Get out of here. We don't want you. Let's check out what we can fish up, I suppose. Am I currently trapped because of this? Oh, good. It didn't have. It did not have. Sand trap. Taking on Wulfric should be no problem, since he's not going to have ice types. I should be thinking about it, that should make him harder. Yeah, this has that weird slide puzzle. cooler than the typical sliding ice puzzles. It's just Deoxys defense. My forearm is still messed up. Flatter? Oh yeah, it's special type swagger. Spikes. It had a Jaboka berry? Interesting. This actually matches with it a little too well. The V-Create. Animation. Alright. It's a simple sliding puzzle. I should be able to solve it, because I am smart. And then we should be moving on to the Elite Four in no time. What was that? Wait, I understand. It's pixelate. Pixelate Swift. That's a lot of damage. Oh, well, I will store that knowledge away for my Nuzlocke. Oh, actually, we should only have to fight this one trainer and we should be good, but then again, there's also the possibility none of the patterns match up properly. Okay. Land of Hysterian is no more. Dwarf? It's not going to help you, but okay. Shuckle, the legendary Pokemon, deserves to face off against our starter. Sturdy. That still didn't take it out, wow. Just shows you how powerful Shuckle really is. Oh, it's just a Mega Alakazam. No problem. Now it's immune to Earthquake. You resist it. There you go. Is that really the best move it knows? Okay, we're not learning Amnesia. Fortress. Fortress shouldn't do too much to us. At least I don't think. It didn't even have Sturdy? And we're in. Here we go. Last gym leader. With it. Cancel. Okay. That is a tough chessman. We can finish this first try. And it goes well. Okay. So that damage was halved, and special attack was halved. Okay. We get it. You're lowering my special attack. It's odd that it had nothing. It kept using Captivate. Could have just used Lava Plume again and finished me off, but that's your choice. Didn't seem like a stupid idea, but no matter what Pelipper throws at us, we can handle it. Alright, maybe I overestimated Pelipper. Either way, we can move on to the Elite Four now. After getting one of the coolest looking badges ever. That is not Ice Beam. Look at us grinding on that ice. Coolest move that character's ever pulled off, I'm sure. Time to head to the league. Hopefully we can handle it. We don't have tons of items for healing. Yeah, Victory Rod's not too hard. at least compared to the older games. Muck, we can handle a muck. This person is running a muck. A bad joke. Hello, welcome in. I'm sorry, that was an extremely... That muck joke was extremely bad. We basically reached the point where regular trainers mean nothing at this point. We can bulldoze all of them as much as we want. Only thing we need to worry about is the Elite Four. This thing will let out speed. Yeah, it's ninja. How's it going? Oh, things are going good. Thank you for asking. That thing did way more than I anticipated. We're just trying to get on our way to the Elite Four. Finally finish this thing up. It's been taking way too long. Can't remember when I actually started this. All I know is that it was quite some time ago. And it's about time that I get it finished. Oh yeah, Y, X, Y, the music definitely... Like, I don't think there really is a ton of competition for most of the songs. Like, it's easily got the best bike scene in the entire series. Rivaled only by Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire. You've never played Y? It's hand-holdy at times, but it's fun. I don't know if it's more or less hand-holdy than some of the newer games. First game you had was White? I have never played White. I have played everything except for Diamond, Pearl, Platinum, and Black and White. Either 1 or 2. Yeah, Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire were like the best remakes in the series. First game I beat was Y, and then I beat the original Ruby on Game Boy Advance. It was a fun time. It was actually hard. Now we're dealing with level 60s for the main trainers. That's not horrifying. At least randomizing the game makes it more interesting. Like, I may not know this generation front to back, but I know a good deal about it. So I thought just throwing in, you know, random Pokemon for the trainers in each route would make it fun. You gotta go eat? Oh, that's all right. That's all right. Go enjoy yourself. You didn't play Emerald, but you played Ruby and Sapphire a lot. Yeah, I didn't get to play Ruby. I just got to play the copy, or I didn't get to play Sapphire. The only reason I got to play the actual older games is because my brother bought Generation. Let's see, what was it? Blue, Silver, and Ruby. And they had just been sitting around, and I was like, yeah, I'll play them. Leaf Green. I have only played... I just said I've played every generation in some way except for 4 and 5. I think 3 in terms of looks still holds up incredibly well. And the horns? It's just so good that they didn't get rid of the horns when they remade Ruby and Sapphire. Like, the horns were a major part of those games. And if that sounds weird, it's because it sounds weird. Well, let's see, what else was great about the remakes of Ruby and Sapphire? Oh yeah, literally everything else. They didn't mess up anything about them. Literally perfect. Now, one of my favorite games? It's tough to say. I think I actually like Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon more than XY and Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire. But that's just me. Like, Alola was just that good to me. Even if it was hand-holdy and the story did get a little overdrawn and stayed out its welcome at times. But sometimes you just want to play a game for the story. Oh yeah, the horns. Like, if you got rid of the horns, you wouldn't be playing Ruby or Sapphire. Like, they're that important to the experience. And the best part is they knew when to... Oh yeah, the Mirage Island. I never played Emerald. And I only played like the bare minimum of Ruby to the point that I beat it. But from what I understand, the Mirage Island in those games were basically you have to get extremely lucky and then you have a chance at seeing an island with nothing on it. Whereas in Oros, they literally made them one of the best things in the entire game. They made Deoxys super cool. Oh, we got a Metro Frenzy Plant? I don't think they made Deoxys cool. Deoxys was already cool to begin with. But they made the backstory behind Deoxys that much cooler. So yeah, I suppose I agree with that statement. They made Deoxys super cool. We don't have a Torchic, so that doesn't matter. There are just Mega Stones lying all over the place. Something I always found weird about Generation 3 is how Deoxys worked. Like, its form was based on which game it was currently in. Which is just such a weird way to do it. So if you're playing one version, I think it was Ruby and Sapphire had one version of Deoxys, or one Deoxys form. Emerald had a Deoxys, a different form, and Fire Red and Leaf Green had the third form. Which just made playing those games probably that much more confusing. Alright, we got a little shortcut here if we ever want to take a break. Oh yeah, and then the other great thing about Oros was just the fact that they made Rayquaza matter in the story more than it comes to break up the fight between Kyogre and Groudon. And instead it's stopping Deoxys. That was cool. Pretty much everything except for the overly long exposition was great in the post-game. We're dealing with trainers that know they can switch their Pokemon? What the heck is going on here? And it's not even like a special trainer, it's just a kid. A fairy girl. Oh yeah, the additional characters in Oros. Zinnia could get grating at times, but I'm not usually one to shy away from having some sort of exposition or backstory. I like that kind of stuff. Even when I'm replaying, I don't mind having to mash through text if I don't care all that much. So I thought Zinnia was cool. And then the extra, they actually made the admins for both teams matter. Nice little way to make some side characters that, you know, do stuff. And even updating some gym leaders to be more than just, you know, the gym leader that stands there and does nothing. Like talking with Watson, he actually asks you to do stuff. You don't look like a bird to me. Alright, we have what should be our final rival fight before we go into the league. Why does this game have the best rival theme? Okay, maybe not the best rival theme, but it's really way up there. Even if the Friends theme is used for all of the rival fights in this game, I don't care. I like the theme that much. Parasect. You gonna switch? You can't think of it. That is a fair point. There are very few bad rival fight themes, but some are definitely better than others. The Generation 1 rival fight theme, anything is better than that because it's literally just the regular trainer fight. The regular trainer theme. So it's certainly improved over time. And like, I like How's theme in Gen 7, but there are better rival themes, for sure. Brendan and May, the friends in this game, Hop in Sword and Shield, Bede in Sword and Shield. Like, they are out there. I can't really draw myself to hate one. The only time I'd say I dislike one greatly would be the fact that they replaced Battle at the Summit with a remix of House theme in the Ultra games for Sun and Moon. I've come to appreciate House champion fight theme, but I'm sorry, it just does not compare to Battle at the Summit. Oh yeah, that is true. It doesn't feel like nostalgia pandering at all. And here's the thing, they went out of their way to do new remixes for some characters when they already had perfectly good remixes from Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire for Archie and Maxie. You gotta give them credit. They went out of their way to make a new theme. It's not as good as the Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire version, but it's not supposed to be the Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire version because those aren't... It's not that version of Archie and Maxie. We're fighting the Archie and Maxie from a different time. The ones based off of Ruby and Sapphire, mostly. So yeah, the remix is... Precisely, yeah. And yes, again, the remixes might not be as good as the Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire remix, but they're still good, and their purpose isn't to be the Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire version. Ooh, did we just get an item? That is like one of the few times I've gotten an item from just hitting stuff in the background. Hello, sir. Oh, we're dealing with veterans now. It's just a Mega Houndoom. He can't do anything to me. Oh, thank goodness. Wait. It doesn't have any Dark-type moves? Or it didn't realize that I outsped it? Hearing the Hoenn Encounter song in Gen 7... Okay, now I didn't go to the battle tree. I will have to try the battle tree at some point in the Battle Mason in Gen 6. I was playing these games a lot last year and I wanted to make up for lost time because I had only played Y before and I really wanted to play Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire, Sun and Moon and Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon. So I didn't do some of that bonus post-game content as much. But one day I'll have to sit down and try my best at doing the battle tree. Because I've seen it. It looks fun. Having to go through a gauntlet of random trainers, and then some trainers from previous games. I did do the red and blue fight when you first go to the battle tree area. In that encounter, how did they do that? It's just one of the best encounters in the entire game. Like, you just go to this new area and suddenly you're greeted by two old characters from the very first game. I understand. I've heard Jensen, but understand why it's not a favorite. Especially, yeah, I can see that. The way I see Gen 7 is it's Gen 8 but good. Which isn't to say that Gen 8 is bad, Sword and Shield, but Gen 7 was the story-driven, partly hand-holdy Pokemon game done right. Like, Gen 8 had good music, but when that's all you have, you can't really fall back on that. Oh, it's just Kyurem White. The red-blue thing. Yeah, I was unable to avoid spoilers for a lot of these games, because, again, I just played them like last year. Are you serious? You flinched me twice. But yeah, seeing old characters in the newer games is always fun. And it's a little bit of a shame that it hasn't really happened in some time. Like, the newer games just have no returning characters whatsoever. Maybe they'll change that in Scarlet and Violet, but I doubt it. If you're wondering why we're doing this, it's because a Vigoroth is more worthwhile than a Slacking to us. Alright, this is the end gauntlet. We can make it. Gonna subscribe really quick? You seem cool. Well, thank you very much. That is always appreciated. I don't have, like, a stream schedule. I try to do one on Saturday afternoon. And then I'll... Yeah, Victor... the one person who... PokeFan, who does, he's a mod for the channel. And yeah, he's the one who recommended that I just don't bother, or allow, he recommended I don't let it evolve. And I was like, but Slacking can do stuff. But yeah, he was absolutely right. Vigoroth is a tank. But yeah, I don't have like a typical focus set? Stream schedule. I just do them when I can. That moment when a Spupa outspeeds you. But yeah, The plan after I finish this up is to do an Omega Ruby randomizer. And then, on top of that, it'll be a Nuzlocke, which would be my first one. So that'll be fun, right? Doing a randomizer for your first Nuzlocke. Oh, great minds think alike. Great minds think alike. I built a slacking Metacham pure power skill swap team in Scarlet and Violet. Scarlet and Violet. It does sound fun, chaotic, but fun. Yeah, I'm hoping it'll be fun. That's the point of playing games. Yeah, I made a slacking team. Skill swapping pure power onto it to double its attack turn 1. Rock Slide. It has a high chance of flinching things because a lot of people don't bring super fast things with them. And if you don't do everything just right, it will steamroll through everything. And then there's a Goldango in the back, just for good measure, because that wasn't broken enough as it was. But yeah, I'm hoping doing a randomizer for my first real Nuzlocke isn't going to be a huge issue. The main goal is to just have fun with it. Skill swap Grumpig named Swag Bacon. Yeah, the skill swap pure power, doubling attack instantly turn 1 is good, but yours actually sounds pretty cool too. Own tempo just cancels out confusion, right? Like, that's actually a smart idea. Alright. Well, we just lost not Ashes, the Latios. Good thing this is not a Nuzlocke. I'm not just adding Nuzlocke rules on at the very end. It's one of your favorite underrated abilities. Yeah, it doesn't see much use, I'm sure. Okay, it is ridiculous how much the V-Create animation matches with Vigoroth, despite Vigoroth never learning V-Create. Yeah, I love playing around with skill swap whenever I'm playing double battles, which are basically the only battles I play at this point, because singles just is not fun to me competitively. Each generation of singles has like one gimmick that completely railroads the entire experience and makes it not fun. Like everything before Generation 7 or Generation 8. Stealth Rocks basically killed everything. The red tuft of hair with the V-Create is really funny. Yeah, singles, like, it's all about setup, and then from there it just never got more interesting. Man, I am loaded. I didn't realize that we had this much money. Just using items alone, I have a feeling we should be able to beat the Elite Four. Actually, we might just be able to beat the Elite Four and Champion right here. But yeah, it's a little ridiculous just how well that V-Create matches up. Let's just forget about the fact that I'm bringing a level 40 in here that has not leveled up at all. And none of the typings will matter because everything is random. Oh yeah, this is the evil Elite Four member. Let's go crush her first because she's evil. I think XY has the best Elite Four chamber ever. And the fact that you can battle them in any order you want just makes it that much more interesting. And they'll comment accordingly about based on which one you're fighting at the moment. Malva here is like the blandest one. Oh, she just sends a Mega Latios in immediately. Yeah, that's fair. Well, you are my only hope. You are dead to me. Audino and Houndoom? Audino is a very good Mega form. I haven't personally used it in any capacity, but its design is really good. Houndoom, I'm not a huge fan of regular Houndoom, so its Mega form also kind of ends up feeling that way for me, where I'm not like, eh. You know, it's fine, it's there. I don't hate Houndoom, but it's never been one of my favorites. For a dark type dog, I've always preferred the Poochyena line. I am literally going to have to start with... It had a life orb. Yeah, I didn't turn off the setting that gets rid of... that stops them from having megas. They can also have different forms. But yeah, by no means do I hate Houndoom. It's just one of the Pokemon that's there to me. I think my favorite Mega form It's a tough one. Favorite Mega form? Slowbro is surprisingly one of the better Mega forms to me. I don't think it's my favorite, but it's up there. Oh, she has a fire type. What are the odds? Honestly, I think Rayquaza might be my favorite Mega form. Like, it's just such a good... It's such a good design. And the fact that it can hold an item makes it so overpowered. Then it's probably followed by Diancie. The only Generation 6 Pokemon that got a Mega form. Like, what were you guys thinking? You made all these Generation 6 Pokemon, and you only gave one of them a Mega form. And it's a mythical locked behind random events. Mightyena? Yeah, Mightyena, it gets Intimidate. It gets access to a decent move pool. Like, there are no problems with it. Diancie is underappreciated. I don't think Diancie is underappreciated. I think it's just the fact that nobody has Diancie. Because it was an event only in Generation 6. And I don't think it's had a single event outside of Generation 6 yet. I suppose if you want to count Go Fest, the current Go Fest that's about to happen, but I don't count that. That's not an event. You're charging us $15 just so we can catch Diancie. Like, that's a complete ripoff. I love Diancie's origin. Yeah, it's just not good. It was a bad idea. I think the thing I like most about Diancie is that it's not even, like, actually special to a degree. It is special, but it's also just like a mutated version of a regular Pokemon. It's the mutated version of Carbink. Which is just such a cool concept. I don't think there's any other Pokemon that are basically like just the regular Pokemon but bigger or special in some way. This thing is a tank. You always wanted to use Diancie on the Monotype Rock team. Yeah, Carbink and Diancie just don't get enough love. I think Mega Diancie is used a lot because it gets Magic Bounce one of the best abilities ever to exist. It's also why people used Mega Sableye a ton. Because turn 1, you get access to... Yep, full restore. Mega Sableye, you get access to Prankster and Magic Bounce all in one turn. This Arduino is putting up a fight. There we go. And we also have rocks up, so things should start taking decent damage based on what we have coming in. You have 2 shiny Carbink, one named Topaz and the other Dust Bunny. Mega Sableye, I actually think it's one of the better Megas, despite the fact that it's just Sableye but with some more crystals on it, hiding behind a giant gem. Like, that is such a funny concept. Mega Sableye is also going up there with the super cool Mega forms for me. Why does this guy just have first stage Pokemon? If we keep getting this lucky, we will just beat the Elite Four. I'm feeling confident we can do it today. Like, that wasn't the intention, necessarily. The intention was to try and get this series finished up. It just pulls a crystal out of his chest, and then it starts hiding behind it. At first I thought, like, one of its eyes grew really big, and now it has to stand in place, but no. No, it just pulls a gem out of its chest and starts hiding behind it. Oh yeah, I just remember one of my other favorite Mega forms, Camerupt and Sharpedo. Those ones are so cool, Camerupt and Sharpedo. And the story for Sharpedo is basically it just keeps growing teeth, supposedly, as it's fighting. Oh, the Dragon User has Xerneas. Something's not adding up here. Majestic and almost angel-like. Yeah, that is pretty cool. Absol, good design. Wrong thing again. Alright. And the wings being bone is an interesting concept, to say the least. This will activate Sturdy. Oh, it doesn't? Thankfully, I'm not doing a Nuzlocke, because then I couldn't use items in battle. Yeah, this is all just too funny. Thank goodness I am not playing a Nuzlocke, because I would have just lost Balboa here. And if you don't get the name, that's alright, because I've never seen any of the Rocky Balboa movies. You use a camera? I didn't get to use a camera. Balboa is such a great name. Thank you for recognizing the reference. I've never seen a Rocky movie, but it was too good not to give it that name. And yeah, she has like the ultimate... She literally has the Dragon Killer on her team. I'm surprised she didn't have a white herb for Geomancy to kick in. That thing would have just swept me. Wait a second. Did it just use Fake Out? And it didn't? And it didn't flinch? Swana. Swana is actually a pretty cool Pokemon. It's kind of a shame it's been trapped and not usable for the last couple generations. But I've heard that in the DLC for Scarlet and Violet, it'll actually be in there. You nickname all your Pokemon? I haven't been nicknaming my Pokemon as much. I always nickname my starter at the very least. She is such an encouraging Elite Four member. Yeah, it did use Fake Out and it did not flinch. What the heck just happened there? Oh, and we have the water French chef guy. Yeah, for these things I like to nickname them, just to get attached to them that much more. But when I'm doing a playthrough, I'll nickname my starter and maybe a couple team members, if I remember to. Oh, thank goodness it didn't crash. That would have been embarrassing. To lose all of that progress. Oh yes, Pokemon battling is indeed art. This game looks so good on an emulator with just like simple filters. Not necessarily filter, let me just check real quick what they are actually called. Yeah, texture filter. I was right. That's cool. It just looks good. She does seem like the type of... She seems like an old cat lady, but for dragons. If that makes sense. In fact, I'm probably very astute in that assumption. And this water guy reminds me of one of those overdramatic theater kids in high school. I actually would not know that stereotype other than from TV. Because I was, I'm gonna let you in on a little secret. I didn't go to public school. And when I say secret, this is not a secret at all. The most exposure I got to high school, the high school experience, another Audino? Would be, the most exposure I got to them, to people, to high school or anything like that, would be watching TV. Graduated in 2015. Yeah, that seems to be, like, from how I understand it, the general time that stereotype was big. It's alright. Yeah, the only semblance of knowledge I have is from High School Musical, which, if you've seen that, please tell me if that's at all accurate. Pangoro. Pangoro is a dark type, so Psychic will not work on it. Let's bring Shelly in. Sky. It knows Sky Uppercut? Alright, I guess we're gonna heal up and then take on Diantha. This has been like a running gag for this randomizer, is the constantly having to go back and stop Vigoroth from evolving so Eviolite can still work. There was also one other running gag, which was everywhere we went we would pick up. Actually, let me see if I can show it. The randomizer adds some weird extra items. So everywhere we go, we've been grabbing mail. %60 of the overdramatic theater kids were already popular as is. Mega, yeah, Mega. I prefer you don't leave comments like that, please. I like to keep things clean here, as clean as possible. But are you commenting on my appearance? I think I just look normal. Yeah, just for future reference. Alright, let's do this thing. can't believe we're actually finishing this. Let's take on one of the cooler champions in the series, I want to say. Was not anticipating finishing this. Here we are. I'm sorry, but it knows Ice Punch. I mean, I know the Randomizer did some weird thing, but Ice Punch? As someone who watched High School Musical and went to dinner theater and did another, some stuff was definitely overdone to try to be funny. Well, that's just how movies and TV are. Look, I know High School Musical, none of that is realistic whatsoever. Alright, she's got Deoxys on the team? Okay, if you're gonna blame Magnezone for having no hands to punch, if you're gonna point out that Magnezone has no hands to punch with, oh, we got a Deoxys speed. You should be complaining that Wulfric has no hands to punch with. Like, seriously think about that. Wulfric has no hands, yet it learns most of the punching moves. Like, how does that make sense? Speaking of Deoxys, Molly Pink wants to learn Dive? You are not learning Dive. You are the shiny who's meant to sit in the back and look pretty. Yeah, speaking of Deoxys, we already encountered a Deoxys defense in the gym, I think, just before you showed up in the chat. Of course, it's not a pure power one. Wulfric doesn't need hands though. It just needs its head. Its head is the fist, as I've heard it described. I think the champion is actually easier than Malva was. That's just sad. Poniard. I'm kind of glad I upped the difficulty on that Nuzlocke randomizer I have planned. Because some of this is just a little too easy. This is going to be a Mega. It's one of her last two Pokemon. It's either the Mega, her Ace, or it's a random Pokemon. It's a random Pokemon. Shelly is just... I think we win. Here in black, white can't learn Ice Punch despite giant arms. Wait. Did it actually randomize to give her her ace? That is hilarious. The game randomized so many things in this. But her ace is actually still Gardevoir. Now, I do have the setting turned on where it will replace a Mega Pokemon with one that is capable of Mega Evolving. But still, there are so many more options that aren't Gardevoir. And we're the champion of the Pokemon Y Randomizer. But yeah, nobody should question Pokemon logic. Like, yeah, for example, the Latios on our team is actually the Lucario you get after the fighting gym. It got replaced with a Latios. Because I have it set so that anything that's a Mega Pokemon, typically. Yeah, it would have been funny if it was... Either way, it would have been hilarious. But we got... Either Gardevoir or Gallade would have been a hilarious option. Oh, and there's just a random heal ball, because... Why not? Dun, 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 dun. Not Ashes. Balboa, Vinny, Shelly, Molly Pink, who did nothing, and Luigi, the starter. Quite a team. Forget you, you did nothing, Molly Pink. Ash has one now. A few days later. Why did it have to be a few days later? Yeah, yeah, that Lucario is actually pretty cool. Look at those choppy walking animations. Wait, those are those are JPEGs bobbing up and down. You like that? Yeah, that was a cool team. We had a Milotic. We had Maya the Milotic. If you go back and watch, like, part 6, I think, part 5 or 6, we replaced Maya the Milotic with Molly Pink because I wanted to try chain fishing just for fun, because it's like chain fishing is one of the easiest shiny hunting methods in existence, and with a randomizer you're not just going to get boring fish. So we were trying for a Metagross, but we got a Wailord instead, and we just kept the Wailord on the team. Yeah, bouncing JPEGs. Like, this scene does not look good on an emulator. This reminds me that another good thing about Oros. It incorporates elements of X and Y into it in a relatively natural way. these cardboard cutouts of a crowd, they still look better. Oh, Pokefan, you just rolled in time to see us beat AZ after becoming champion. Molly Pink did absolutely nothing because she's worthless. She's just there to look pretty. We have encountered 2 Kyurem Whites. What on earth are the odds? I wish instead of Q-Charm, it got adaptability. Feebot. Yeah, I don't get some of those cases where they change the ability. I don't think you actually learned Spore, sir. I did not have randomized moves turned on. You wish AZ would come back to Pokemon? I mean, his story got played out. His story is over. Spore, Simple Beam. What is this thing doing? Spore, Simple Beam, Flash Cannon. So yeah, Pokefan, what were you up to? How have you been? We need Eternal Flower Flowout as an event. Yeah, that still stings. He's mad that I made fun of his giant dragon claws and the fact he can't use... Yeah, you were up to an app? Yeah, that sounds about right. What else? Yeah, the same old, same old. Just so you know, we didn't find any mail, so you didn't miss anything, really. But yeah, the Eternal Flower Flowout, where is that event? Like, the data is in the games. Using some devices, or not devices, programs. Like, using some programs, you can access Eternal Flower Flowout. You would love to know what an AZ Florges would look like? Yeah, besides from PKSM, it's basically untouchable. There might be a small chance it's in this randomizer, which would be cool. An AZ Florges. That actually would be pretty cool. Well, now, it's time to start preparations for the Omega Ruby Randomizer Nuzlocke, I suppose. Either way, it's a cute Pokemon. Floette in general is. I prefer its first stage, Flabebe. But it's still... We're gonna 400 times speed, or 400% speed, the credits. Sadly, the Eternal Flower Flow, yeah. I don't think it's necessarily sad, though. Because they just made... If it ever does get an event, That means it can use Eviolite. Like, a mythical with those stats that can use Eviolite? Really, seriously, think about it. Oh yeah, this is the weird credits where they actually have lyrics to the song. Yeah, actually, that would be like if they gave us an evolution for Shuckle. We could finally use Eviolite Shuckle. Think about it. They programmed Eviolite not to work on it. They actually thought that far ahead. They actually thought that far ahead. That mean that means the event was this close to happening. All right, and they actually thought ahead not to allow it to use Eviolite. That is insane. All right, well, with the fact that I just beat it and I'm sure I have to help get dinner ready, the fact that we just beat the game, that, that's fun. I think this is going to be like a good stopping point. You Googled it and tried it and there was nothing. That is disappointing, but makes sense and doesn't make sense all at the same time. So yeah, give it Life Orb since it's original move. Well, I'm sorry to disappoint, but we're going to be calling it here for the day. I'm pretty sure I have to help go make dinner. My wrist still acting up a bit from trimming goat's hooves today. Yeah, we beat it, and we're going to move on to the Randomizer Nuzlocke. Thank you for coming in, Primrose. Thank you for subbing. It's always appreciated. Yeah, thank you so much for coming in. And thank you to PokeFan for showing up right after his nap. And that's not like a jab or anything. He's a good guy. You can always count on him to take a nap too. Great to have a new member join. Yeah, it's always fun. Primrose it was fun talking. All right, with that, we're going to end off stream, and next time we'll be back with the Omega Ruby Randomizer Nuzlocke. Thank you all. Have a good day.